There we go.
So we can start on Scryfall with set number order, so white cards. I don't think there's much notable stuff. If you see anything that you want to stop on. Like, this thing's interesting, but it's definitely not modern playable.
I'd be surprised if it was even Pioneer playable.
Let's go down to, like, the main card. So, like, Elish Norn. I think Elish Norn will see some, like, a little bit of modern play in the beginning. I think John will like this card, even though he hasn't, like, talked much about it.
It's going to go in any creature deck that plays white, kind of like Bant Ephemerate. I think it would see some play in there. There's maybe a one-off, and...
One of an elementals, come on.
Yeah.
Omnath into it, get double triggers, and stop the other elemental player. No.
I mean, it's going to make the mirror match incredibly boring.
This Eternal Wanderer card's very crazy if you're actually able to get it down, too. It has protection for itself as it's static, meaning only one creature can attack it. And then the 0 making a double striker instead of a first striker is also pretty huge. And the minus...
Yeah. I didn't actually read that card.
Yeah. I mean, it's really powerful for a 6-drop rare walker.
I think that Duelist of the Deep Faith right there is going to be a solid choice in Limited.
This one right here.
Yeah.
2-drop, 2/2. As long as it's your turn first strike. Toxic 1.
Yeah. There's a lot of equipment-based shit in here.
Is that live?
Yeah, it's live.
Okay.
I just had the chat pulled up.
Guess I should look at cards that would be good in Limited.
Oh, I'm just going as we go along.
Like, just Charge of the Mites card seems pretty decent for an instant as a common. Pseudo removal, but instant speed making 2/1/1 toxic ones.
There, I got the chat pulled back up again.
As for modern Elish Norn, I don't know what she'd actually see play in.
We might as well just cover Modern. That's the only thing they'll care about, right?
That's true.
The 4 Mirrodin concept is awesome. It actually makes Living Weapon look pretty bad because you get a 2/2 instead of a 0/0 germ.
Yeah, I think these cards will all be good in Limited. All 4 Maraudins.
Yeah.
Pseudo 2-for-1s. John was mad that they didn't make like a good white one for his modern deck. This is
the Infected Flesh Cutter's decent, man. I mean, it's not a 4 Mirrodin, but
yeah.
it's a decent equipment
Poops
for
out
what
dudes.
it is.
Jawbone Duelist, I think will be really good in Limited because it says Toxic 1, but since it has Double Strike, if it hits twice, you get 2 Toxic triggers.
Yeah, just equip the Flesh Cutter to that, dude.
This thing having Ward 2 is going to be like a hidden thing and a common.
Oh, so you got at least 2 cats in the set?
Yeah, this card's ridiculous. The fact that it makes cats too for you to trigger its own ability and you just take any equipments. Here's one. Every commander player has their panties in a bunch for this card.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
It's one of the most expensive cards in the set. And if it weren't for commander, it'd be like a $3 card.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Norton's Wellspring doesn't seem that great. You have to have a creature die. Yeah, there's the Phyrexian Indicator.
This
I know it
thing?
says Vindicator, but fuck. All it is swans of burnt egg roll. It's pretty much it. I mean, obviously, it's a bigger body.
Yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous card. Like, you can just do the old Boros Reckoner on steroids, play Blasphemous Act, except your Vindicator doesn't die and you still do 13.
Yeah, Ossification's going to be solid and limited, for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of white removal. So we have Ossification, Planar Disruption, and there should be another Exile spell right here. Vanish into Eternity. and two of these are at common, so we have to be seeing people play them.
That plated onslaught there just looks so bad to me.
Which one?
The plated onslaught,
here.
5-drop with affinity.
Are the Phyrexian mites artifacts? Let's see.
Colorless, no.
Oh, they are.
Oh, they are, yeah.
So I guess if you're like running a lot of mites, it's not the worst.
It might, I guess it might slot into a deck that has Skrell's Hive pretty well, which I'm big on that. Skrell and Skrell's Hive I think are awesome, but I mean, Skrell's Hive is not as good as Bitter Blossom because the creatures can't block, but
That was Tommy showed me this today. I'm like, that card is cool, and he's talking about like it gives your things lifelink, but I was like, those things can't block though, right? And he said, yeah. I'm like, that's a big deal.
it is, yeah.
This thing's pretty interesting.
I think it's for sure getting tried in Hammer. I've seen a lot of people talking about that.
It's
Just
close to
because,
being an Urza Saga target. It said they had to make it white though.
Yeah. It just pairs up well because you always have that backdoor infect kill.
This is another card that every commander player ever is creaming their pants for. Gain a bunch of life, make some mites, and destroy everything else. I'm the only one that thinks that it's not that good.
No. I mean, it might be decent and limited, but I doubt it'll see play. It might see play in standard. Mono white is top of the list in standard right now.
Really? I thought it was a Grixis.
It was, but apparently mono white has just flattened it. I started studying standard a little bit more since it's the format for the Mana Trader series this month.
Here's another card that I think is actually going to be decent limited. It's just whenever you cast a non-creature spell, basically give something flying, but you don't have to do it right away. You can save it and do it whenever. I don't know, 2-drop 2/1.
Wait a minute. I never read that
This
Blade
one?
of Shared Souls before.
Yeah, it's one of the better former rodents that they did.
Yeah, so it's just a glass pool mimic is all it is.
Kind of. I mean, it enters with a 2/2, so. Blue Sun's Twilight is going to be a strong limited card. I don't see it seeing play anywhere else. This card might be interesting for like Pioneer Standard.
Yeah, it's just, what is it? Make Disappear? Is that what that card's called? That 2-drop counter spell? Counter unless you pay 2.
Yeah, and that has casualty.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Flash, when it enters, tap a creature. This doesn't seem bad for limited.
No.
3-drop 3/2 with Flash on vanilla is already decent.
You could get a 3/2 body with it, but
This thing's pretty interesting. If you can like brew with it in modern, maybe if there's like, a good way to get poison.
I personally would try a single copy in the Simic Infect. But
Yeah.
I know more people are running, what is it, Sultai nowadays.
We'll start getting to some cool infect cards in green later. Not too much interesting blue. Like, we have an Anticipate that has Proliferate at the end of it now. I think that's an interesting card.
That's so much better.
This whole cycle of 1-drop artifacts with charge counters are whatever, except for the black one. I think the black one's really good. Oh, another commander players creaming their pants with their Super Friend Atraxa decks.
Oh, yeah, Mike and I were talking about that. People are also going crazy for it in Modern because they love their Narset Days Undoing. And you can then plus Narset technically.
Yeah, I guess so. Taking a card to do it though. Here's one that has people loving, like thinking it's not bad, and there's other people that just hate it.
I mean, you can play it for 3. It's definitely,
So you play it for 3, and it comes in at 3.
yeah, it's not going to be great.
Its plus is a shrink. Its minus is maybe draw 3. I say maybe, like a lot of people are like, no, it is draw 3, but 20 cards is still a lot of cards to have in a graveyard at one time in Modern when people are playing a lot of things that return cards from the grave. There's Exile and Murktide. There's Endurances to shuffle back.
Yeah. I'd try it as like a one-off in mill.
And
sure.
I think the minus is irrelevant. I mean, unless you're playing mill, but I don't think mill's good. I lost to mill, but I still think it's bad.
There's a vehicle in this set that I didn't see before.
This one?
Yeah, that's going to be a limited bomb.
And there's with an oil counter. Remove an oil counter, it's screwed for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. This thing's interesting. Probably not good at all in anywhere. Here's a card I think I'm most excited about.
Like, I'm not gonna step. Yeah, everyone's all over the place about it.
Yeah.
I think it'll go into Murktide for sure.
I'm not gonna play the card because I don't have a blue deck, but I think it's crazy. It hits other minor missteps. Cascade decks aren't a thing anymore. You just can't play your Cascade spells when there's a 1-drop that just counters it for good.
Yeah. That's pretty decent. Is that a uncommon?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's gonna be readily available. Everyone's gonna play it. No more Ragavan. Ragavan's getting doo-dooed on now. It's gonna go in like every value breach deck now because of how popular it is. Why would you not play it?
This is another interesting card. More so for like Commander and all that shit. But it's cool. This is a simple poison counter draw card.
Reject Imperfection's decent. Give it for limited, given the obvious poison counters that are going on, being able to proliferate and counter a spell.
This is another good one.
Oh yeah, shit.
This bounce on land.
I'm waiting for us to come across that one card that puts oil counters on something.
I think Thrumming Bird's gonna be good.
Maybe. Depends.
This seems good. This has to be good in limited. Draw engines are always good in limited. I think this is gonna be some sort of modern combo with Grand Architect. And they'll like try and cheat out a Blight Steel or something. Because this combo's right with it. Like, have a bunch of dudes out that are cheap, and then they tap for mana, and then now when they tap for mana, you get to loot. It's pretty crazy. I think this guy's whatever. We have so many cards that do the same thing.
I think the Trawler Drake's going to be good if you can set up reoccurring. You don't even need to have a deck full of non-creature spells because there's
proliferate cards.
Yeah, many different cards that just put oil counters and you get advantage from that.
Yeah. Dies, draw equal to the number of oil counters on it. It's kind of nuts. This card, I read it wrong the first time. When I read it, it was a foreign translation, and so I thought it said pay for life, not for mana. And when it was pay for life, I was absolutely freaking out about this card being crazy and so good, and Death Shadow's back, and then the English translation came out, and it's pay for mana, and now this card just sucks.
Yeah, it might be decent limited.
This card, I think this card's good. I think mono black is going to be a thing in Pioneer, and I think they're going to play this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Instant speed kill and reanimate.
Reanimate your Obliterator.
1/1 for 1 with Death Touch and Toxic 1 seems decent. Not bad, but Death Touchers and Limited are always pretty annoying.
A 1/1 for 1. Yeah.
More removal. And this goofy card that I think is terrible. 4 mana 6/6 enters with four oil counters. At your upkeep, remove an oil counter. Then, if it has no oil counters on it, you lose the game. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a specific card in the set that allows you to put oil counters on permanents every turn. So, might be feasible, but it's not something I could see myself playing ever.
And there's a lot of Death Touch cards. I think this card's pretty nuts. I mean, I don't know how easy it is to get those poison counters on stuff, but having this a free sack an artifact or creature to draw a card, sack outlet,
Yeah.
really good.
So the Drivnod is what they're getting all excited about.
This thing,
Yeah.
I think probably just Any Dominus. 5 mana, 8/3. You can pay 4 life and exile 3 things to give it an indestructible counter, and get double death triggers.
That seems like it would be decent only in what's that deck called that reanimates the fucking crew vehicles?
Greasefang.
Greasefang, yeah.
I like this card, Drowninicker. I was thinking of trying it out in Jund Saga, but then I changed my mind when I saw Tyvar. But I still don't think it's bad. I think being able to proliferate counters on like Fable the Mirror Breaker is fine. Maybe not Urza Saga, because you still want to be able to.
Not for you, yeah.
But for Fable, it's worth it. Let's see here. Geth is interesting. I don't think it's that good though.
I mean, it's a reanimator. If you got a big body in the yard.
I like this card. The Gulping Scrap Trap. 5 mana 4/4 ETB or die, just proliferate. But a big beefy creature unlimited is always fine.
I've seen a few rats. I wonder if that Rat King is going to be relevant.
Maybe there are a lot of rats. And that's a really good card.
Infectious Inquiry is not that great.
This one's interesting.
Yeah.
Toxic 2 and this random doesn't even return it to your hand, it puts it straight to the field. The creature though when it dies. Here's another one of those +1/+1 for each oil counter on it. And it enters with 2 oil counters. And
Yeah, slot that in a deck with a Drake. It's looking pretty good.
whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter.
God, I really hope I get to draft a Phyrexia Arena.
Yeah, Arena. The card that got reprinted, I think they're like $1 now. I don't think it will see Pioneer play. As much as I think Mono Black will be a thing in Pioneer, I don't think Phyrexian Arena will be in the deck. Maybe it will be because it's a permanent with 2 Black Devotion for Nykthos.
They're gonna start off by trying, and then maybe I'd have to see how much card draw they have. I'm assuming that they're running like Sign in Blood or something.
Has to be. Then here's the card. What makes me think Mono Black is going to be a thing in Pioneer? Phyrexian Obliterator. I used to play this card when I was first going to FNMs, and I had Dark Ritual in my deck, and that's not legal in Modern.
No. I think that Obliterator isn't going to be that great because Mono White now runs 4 copies of Lay Down Arms.
Yeah.
And I know because I got clapped by it last night.
On Arena? Moto?
Yeah.
You don't play Arena?
No. Unless I'm on the shitter, man.
We got Scheming Aspirant, which I think's a really good card. Maybe not for Constructed, but if you get to build around this in Limited...
Children's Edict is
That's the crazy card for constructed. We have an instant speed edict that doesn't target a player. So you don't have to worry about anything in boggles anymore, like Leyline of Sanctity.
Yeah.
And then
I was getting ready to say,
Planeswalkers.
fuck you, Boggles.
Yeah. Fuck Leyline of Sanctity. We got Shieldred's Edict. And then it also hits Planeswalkers, because why not?
Because fuck you, running 6.
And then, I don't know how relevant... Oh, maybe this... No. Okay, if it had an option that said choose one, they sacrifice a token creature, that would actually be really cool. Because now, like, against Hammer Time, if they Cauldron Complete you, and you're like, alright, you sack a token.
Yeah,
they gotta
it says
sack
that
turn.
each opponent sacks a creature token.
Oh, I didn't read that part. I just read creature.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that card's great
It
then.
hits everything.
Yeah, you go against Hammer Time now, and they're like Cauldron Complete with just a Stone Forge and like an Esper Sentinel out. And now you're like, alright, sack a token in particular.
It also gets around Skanktifier.
No, it's true. Even more. That card's getting better every time I read it. Nothing interesting here. Reanimate spell that proliferates is alright.
Yeah, nothing
Nothing interesting.
worth noting.
Planeswalker, that's kind of hard to read.
Oh, Vata Rebirth. That's a good one. It's a reanimator if you're on the oil plan.
Oh yeah, this thing, that was the one I was talking about, that out of that cycle. That one's just the best one. I think it could even see modern play, but Prismatic Ending in March is a card.
Yeah.
But whenever you sack a treasure, you just put another oil counter on it. Because treasures do hit the grave.
Yep.
Sack a Mishra's Bauble, put a counter. This thing's interesting. Good for limited, probably. Only triggers once each turn. Here's another removal spell in common. And then stupid Planeswalker. Draw a card, lose life, proliferate for 0. Or technically a +1 because you proliferate. And then -2, you make something a treasure. And it loses everything else. And then -9, you basically kind of win. Target player has fewer than 9 poison counters on it. They get they gain poison counters equal to the difference.
I think it looks cool, but I would be surprised if it saw any play. It doesn't have a way to protect itself, and you're dropping 5 mana to draw a card or maybe make your dude a treasure token.
Yeah, this is definitely a limited card and commander card only.
Oh yeah, Commander's gonna play the shit out of it because they don't.
My only commander deck's mono black, and I'm getting it. I play Post Malone. That's right.
Jesus Christ.
I was a fan of this card until I realized it's not a -1 counter.
Yeah.
If it was a -1 counter and then it said proliferate, it would make sense. But
all will be one. That's one of my favorites from the set.
the card with the infinite combo. Let's find the other card. Made this card. Oh, I can't type. Make sure to edit this out of the stream, Matt. There we go. Maybe we can find a better picture. Whatever. You can kind of see it, you kind of can't. Whenever a sorcery control deals damage to an opponent, you may put a quest counter on Quest for Pure Flame. Then you can forget the rest of the text. That's all you need. And then this, whenever one or more counters are placed on a permanent or player, this does that much damage to target opponent, creature, an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls. So you hit them, it triggers, put a counter on the quest. Quest triggers that, deal damage, put a counter, and repeat. Over and over and over. Infinite combo.
Okay.
Made that like 10-cent enchantment from Zendikar go all the way to $3.
I don't really see it doing much of anything in Modern, though.
It's Commander. Everything is Commander.
Oh, God.
That's why when you draft you don't have to feel as bad for taking the shitty cards because you know they're worth money in Commander. It's like an upside.
Yeah. Looks like we might have an equipment deck in limited. That
Like red white equipment.
blade graft ass pirate. Yeah,
Equipment's cost
one less.
one less, and abilities that target it cost one less. It's not bad. It's a common.
I think churning reservoir is the one I was telling you about. But the barbed batter fist is decent when you're playing the ass pirate.
Equip for one too, so equip's free. Yeah, alright. Let's look at the reservoir. So you create a 1/1. Oh, you just start pooping out 1/1s?
It puts oil counters on another non-token artifact or
Oh.
creature you control.
So
So
if you draft any of those guys that
Yeah.
get for oil counter. Okay. Here's another crazy for Maraudin if you get it, but it's a rare for limited. +2/+2 flying and haste. And this dragon that people liked in the beginning, but I think is overrated.
yeah, it's not as great.
Yep. And 9 cards is still a lot of cards in a graveyard in Modern.
Yeah, even though Murktide be burning through cards some games, it's not always the case.
Maybe you can make the argument, does that replace Murktide? No. Triple red.
Everyone's getting offended everywhere.
Getting offended?
Yeah. Replace Murktide.
I think this card's cool, but it's also just unplayable and constructed because it's an X1. Red and 6 doesn't take too fondly of those types of creatures. But it's neat. It's interesting. Other than that,
So it's kind of terrible.
yeah. I mean, I like bad
Because it
cards.
doesn't get its defense beefed up. It's just a fucking
This is the most
X1.
insane kit. I have Ellisnorn. I have a foil full art of the white Phyrexia Obliterator dude. I have the Black Dominus and a Veraska.
You gonna win?
No, probably not.
Why the fuck not? You got black and white. That's like the best removal in the set. Come on.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, dude. Oh, it's good.
It's retarded.
Yeah.
We got flashed by Tommy's pre-release luck. It's always the same. Every other kit he opens this weekend will also have an Elishnorn in it. What's up, Dustin?
So
Guest in the booth.
perusing the room, I saw John's brother's deck, and I was like, yeah, I can't see myself losing with this deck. I go over and look at Tommy's deck, and I'm like,
Yeah.
can't see myself losing with this deck. And John's like, I've heard you say that twice now. I'm like, it was true both times.
Yeah, Tommy just came in here and flashed his pre-release luck.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
And I had made the comment of every pre-release kit he'll open will have an Elishnorn in it. Because that's how Tommy rolls.
There's your way of dealing with the artifact equipment. It's going to go in your sideboard if you're lucky enough to get one.
This,
Yep.
I love this card.
You guys,
I love-
you guys just talking about some cards?
Yeah. Limited, modern, commander panties cards.
I'm gonna throw out what I think the card that I like for League is a green black 1/5 Death Touch for 3 with Toxic 3.
Lisa.
That thing's fucking gross.
Toxic 2, this
Toxic 2, yeah, that thing.
one. And whenever a creature you control with a toxic deals damage, basically Toxic 3.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That thing's insane. Oh, I guess it's for 4. I thought it was for 3. That thing's insane.
Target creature you control with Toxic gains Death Touch until end of turn.
Yeah.
So you're going green black in League?
I don't know. I don't choose those things ahead of time. It chooses me.
I opened up my League kit today, and I think it is the worst start to a League I've ever had.
Oh, really? You opened it up already?
Yeah, I just opened the box, sorted everything, put the box in the back.
I had that one league where my opening pool had 2 copies of Cascading Cataracts and some other unplayable land as rares.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
It was not good. I didn't play them.
Or-
because I'm
Oh,
better than
that one Caden kid, he did one of those Brothers War pre-releases.
Yeah.
And his pre-release kit had 3 borderless underground rivers.
Wes's pool's got 2 copies of an 04 rare that basically has the like Gravedigger's Cage text on it.
Oh,
yeah.
He's got 2 of those.
Man, I'm ready to put him on camera. Go to red real quick. I love this card because I love Coldrotha Rebirth. And this is Coldrotha Rebirth on steroids. I don't know if you know what that is. Coldrotha steroids. Coldrotha Rebirth is a red sorcery that adds an additional cost. You have to sacrifice an artifact, and then you create 3/1/1s.
Yeah.
Whereas this is
Yeah, I remember that joke of a card.
I love that card. I play bad cards and you play Battle Hand because you're 3 creatures, so you get mana now.
Yeah.
It's like a ritual. Here's another equipment for that equipment theme deck. And an interesting card to talk about is Koth. I think is not bad, but obviously is not the greatest. Mono red control I don't think is a deck anymore,
It's not.
especially when Simeon's Spirit Guide got banned.
They didn't do Koth any justice.
Cloth. It's his new name. Here's another equipment tribal, good card, and this one too. Big creature and removal spell, both at uncommon. Affinity for equipments.
That Hex Gold Slash is going to be a solid sideboard card and limited. 4 damage to any toxic creature. For 1 mana. It's pretty sweet.
I got an answer for Dustin's league deck already, and it's a common. Dustin never watches this. I'm gonna shit on you in the next league.
Red Sun's Twilight is just a more terrible Shattering Spree.
They print those. We have Biforce, Vandal Blast, Shattering Spree. Release the Gremlins from Aether Revolt, which is a red and double X, but you create a 2/2 for each thing you destroy. Oh,
The Sawblade Scamp pairs up nicely with that churning, whatever that card was called that puts oil counters on. You can ping for.
Oh, tap, remove, ping everybody.
Yep.
It's got haste, so you can use it right away too. The red Dominus, every Dominus is going to be commander playable.
Dominus.
This thing.
Oh. See, I've played way too much Rocket League in my life when I think of Dominus. It's
Oh,
a
the
card
flat
I
car?
can- Yeah.
I have a Dominus when I played that game, but I was always Octane.
Slow bad seems just bad. Sacrifice an artifact and add red mana equal to its mana cost.
Probably some sort of infinite combo with that card too.
Yeah.
You can smell it, it makes mana. Someone's ripping it out there. You hear that shit?
Discard a card, draw 2 cards.
Another good removal. 3 damage to any target, instant speed, and proliferate.
Oh, Urabrask's Forge. That's going to be good and limited. You get a reoccurring dude every turn.
Little
Hasty
spark
trade.
elemental, kind of.
Yeah.
Vindictive Flamestroker is a card I like, but is unplayable because it's a 1-drop in a format where I'm talking about modern. I'm not talking about any other format. It's irrelevant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. March of Otherworldly Light and Prismatic Ending. Fatal Push. It dies to shock. Yeah.
Gut shot? Oh, no. It's a 1-2.
Yeah. I mean,
I was
gut
looking
shot. Double gut shot. Ren 6. Here's my brother's favorite card in the set. Bloated Contaminator. 3 mana, 4/4 with Trample and Toxic 1, and whenever it hits a player, you proliferate.
It's because it's 3 mana for a 4/4.
You know, all these
I think it
green
might go
players.
in mono green and Pioneer. It ain't gonna see no modern play unless you put it in Stompy.
The only problem with it in Pioneer is that it's only 1 green symbol. They would rather it be triple green just for that devotion. I think this card is good. Conduit of Worlds. It's
Yeah.
1 mana more than Crucible, but it also is card advantage more per turn because you can tap it to play stuff.
I could see it maybe seeing some play in some kind of wilderness reclamation deck.
Ooh.
Aside from that, you can't cast any additional spells on that turn, so you're going to want to be doing most of your casting on your opponent. So, Wilderness Reclamation seems like it'd be best suited for a card like that.
I haven't seen a Wilderness Rec deck in forever. The last time I played Wild Rec was the Mystical Teachings deck.
They're playing it again on Moto.
Of course they are. Then there's Canker Bloom, which is another not terrible card, kind of like Outland Liberator, but a little bit worse. But maybe a little bit better because you can proliferate.
Yeah, if they go to kill it, I mean, worst case scenario, you
And Yawgmoth.
proliferate. Yeah.
Yeah, you can proliferate a bunch of neg counters and all your plus counters and have fun with it. Yeah, any other interesting cards in green? Here's the other.
Evolving Adaptive is like that experiment one,
Where is that one at?
directly above where you were.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Experiment 1 or Pelt Collector. Another one of those
Oh
creatures.
yeah, Pelt Collector.
This is
Green
the third
Sun's Twilight. I have read that card like so many times, and I just can't see it replacing anything that a search effect like that would go into.
one. It doesn't.
Except for it might get played in Pioneer, but I can't remember what their Storm the Festival, how deep it digs.
5, I think, maybe. We can look.
So it's essentially the same thing.
Storm the Festival has flashback though.
Yeah, flashback for 10. It might be something they might be able to put in there.
Look at the top 5 and you get 2 things.
Yeah. Finish reading the text on that
What
card.
it is?
Not shit.
Put the chosen
A lot
cards.
of commander cards.
Yeah. Is there another? Is this thing dead or is this alive?
I have no idea.
Choose a creature and the land. Oh,
Ah, cool. It's alive.
that's very limited.
All right. I'm gonna give Tommy a walkie-talkie so he can yell at you to go to the counter. Because I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
Because I can't. Fuck this shit. Out. Yeah, a lot of command cards.
Like this Nissa right here.
I mean, yeah.
We were just talking about Green Sun Twilight and how it's not as good as any other green card that does better things.
It's in the Great Tundini's deck.
It's and or. I mean, it gets you land and a dude. And it's interesting because it's +1, so it can just be kind of like a cheap green cantrip.
I'm thinking that you would put maybe 1 in Mono Green Devotion.
Yeah.
We're talking about Pioneer.
Yeah. That's the only place I could see that one fitting in.
Oh, yeah. Planeswalkers are unplayable in Modern.
Here's a limited bomb.
Yeah.
Yep. It's in his brother's deck.
Yeah, Jeremy
One of the 2
opened-
decks I can't lose with.
Yeah.
Is there only 2?
Yeah, I don't think I could win with Jeff Tosh's deck. It looks like trash.
Here's another interesting card for limited. Thirsting Roots. 1 green. Tutor for a basic land or proliferate.
Yeah, it's definitely
Maybe more for
gonna be
Sealed
great
Blade.
for mana fixing if you're playing multiple colors and limited, but
That's a card that will be cast against me in League multiple times, and I will never consider putting it in my deck.
Don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
you're gonna skip past the 5-drop 4/4 haste toxic 3 right there.
Yeah, that card's fucking sick.
You talking about this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Great Tondini has that and the Nissa in his limited deck out there, which seems solid. That card right there for a common is ridiculous.
Don't seem bad. Toxic 3.
Yeah.
Here's this other dinosaur that commander players have their panties in a bunch about. Tyrannix Rex.
They say, how do I kill it?
Pay 4 mana.
Yeah.
Unnatural Restoration's pretty cool. It's just regrowth, but better now, which they did with a lot of cards in this set. They took a card that was already made and then just added proliferate to it and then changed the name.
Dude,
Yeah, they do that all the time.
Tyvar stand seems decent because you don't have to pay X, but you can still give your creature hexproof and indestructible. It's like a worse blacksmith skill.
Oh, it's the card that shows Tyvar murdering Tibble. The elf planeswalker killing Tibble.
Elves killing something?
We never got to get a good Tibble card and now he's dead. Now we got Venerated Rot Priest,
I like
the
killing people off.
I love
crazy
the Rot Priest.
Stop playing
Modern.
Magic and everyone starts dying.
half of them are in a gay relationship now too.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, that's right. They
Yeah,
turned all the planes.
You can't use a playmat that has Chandra and Liliana kissing on it, but you can play Bear Skate. Have you seen that?
I have seen Bear Skate.
So that gold 7 drop that's in the bottom right hand corner. of your
This
screen
thing,
there, that
Atraxa.
Wes has that in his deck, and I think it's hilarious. I was making the joke to him.
Such
It's
a
funny that
bad
you're trying to
card.
win with a 7 drop in a format where people are trying to win with poison counters.
I don't know what the fuck a battle is, right? That's the new card type?
Yeah, apparently they didn't make any battle cards yet.
Yeah, this card spoils a new card type that aren't in this set or anywhere in print.
But they didn't reference tribal at all.
What?
Yeah. There's a new card type on Atraxa.
Oh yeah, bottle.
Cards in your library.
Battle.
Yeah. Battle cards are coming soon.
Oh, that the card type that people were talking about.
It's probably going to be a
Tarmogoyf.
commander only.
Gonna come back because
There's
of
another
Yeah,
good
makes
one
sense.
for your equipment deck, the Blade Hold.
I think that's a really interesting card.
There's a lot of red-white equipment stuff in this set for maybe someone in legal play red-white equipment.
Yeah, the 4 mirrored.
Here's another Dominus
Yeah.
commander playable. No one cares.
I bet you battle will be exactly that. Reveal the top card of your library and
It'll be Clash.
It'll be just
Clash.
It'll be exactly Clash.
Yeah.
Kaya is definitely the best
Clash with a
planeswalker
card
in the
type.
set.
Said best planeswalker.
In the set,
Why
yeah.
is every planeswalker in this set cost?
Has
100 mana?
hexproof.
That thing is fucking silly, though.
Because they have the Phyrexian discount.
This one doesn't. This one
Yeah,
is just
so far the cheapest. Okay, there's the 4.
No, but
Yeah, there's
No,
no
the-
free
the
draw.
cheapest
It
is-
That's the whole thing. They have the
and
Phyrexia.
fucking,
They have like
lightning
2 less
bolts.
counters.
The cheapest is this. This is my favorite walker.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Now that Kaya is nuts. If she gets on the table, she's
Yeah,
pretty
that's in your
insane.
brother's deck. I think you play it because it's a 3-mana planeswalker and you've got cheap
He won't
creatures.
get.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
he won't
that's
get
actually
optimal
good
value out
limited
of
though.
it.
And
I think
David
Kaito's
probably
good.
not, no.
But it can't. He's got that 5/5 Thrun thing, and being able to give that vigilance is pretty good.
Yeah,
I think
Kaya's
that card right there, man, that 4-drop is like fucking gross.
Does anyone here like this Nahiri?
I don't
No.
know.
I don't like any Nahiri except.
I
for
found
the-
one person that likes this Nahiri.
Yeah.
Tyler Goshert came in yesterday, packed it, and went, I like that card. I think it's that and Tyvar are the best for modern.
That card doesn't do
Tyler.
anything.
And I laughed in his
Dude.
I
face.
can't
Yeah.
even read it.
Yeah, I can't either.
It does
Let's
nothing.
open it in another tab.
It
You don't need to
pretty
read
much
it.
does Nothing.
I still can't.
As soon as you see the
Until
artwork, you
next
can just be
turn.
disappointed that you got it.
Creature.
Yeah,
It's
somehow
another
they
goat
fused
thing.
her
Commander
arms
card
into
was
a
in a normal
dildos.
set.
Exile a creature or equipment with mana value.
Yeah,
less
she
than
pluses. The
royalty
only good
counters.
thing she
You
does
get a
is
token
loot
copy
on
of
a
it.
plus.
Snoot from
And the
Hell.
other Nahiri has a +2 that does that.
Yeah.
Snoot from Hell says,
It seems like a
"Wish
bad
I
card.
could have been there
It's
tonight,
bad
homies.
for you.
Kick some ass with some shiny new cards."
You can show up tomorrow, Felicia.
That Kaya thing is fucking nuts, though.
I hate that the plus isn't even May. It's literally just
You had to
you
discard.
have to rummage. Like,
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
This is pretty disappointing. I think this Luca is also a very disappointing planeswalker.
Yeah, he's.
I think every complete walker
He's
was pretty
another.
bad.
He's another just red-green walker. I mean,
2.
I think the War of the Spark Domri was
Actually-
a good red-green walker.
Actually, the plus is actually kind of cool now that I think about it because it just says discard a card, draw a card, right?
Yeah.
So if you're empty-handed, you just get to draw a card.
Oh, is that what she read? I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, it is
Oh,
just
no,
card draw.
okay, yeah. No,
Yeah, okay,
pretty-
that's actually better than kind of.
Kind of.
kind of.
Sometimes.
Here's my
sometimes.
promo in
Depends
my
on what you
league
draw.
kit. Is this black-white card?
That card is fucking weird.
Battle card, bringing that back.
Yeah, dude, the card is weird though. The card is super fucking weird.
Reign of combat.
Slaughter Stinger's gonna make for some good tribal type shit.
was excited about this card. I think this is a disappointment. They spoiled this cool artwork and named it Venser Corpse Puppet.
What the fuck
And
do you mean?
it doesn't have Death Touch.
That card is a banger.
It's a
man.
2-drop 1/3 with Lifelink and Toxic 1
All you
that'll
gotta do
never
is
hit somebody.
Proliferate. He's not there to hit someone. He's dropping 3/3s.
But he's got Toxic 1 and Lifelink. So why would they even put those on him?
Target artifact creature you control gains flying and lifelink. So he's like
For anyone that
Geist of
plays
Saint Traft.
Urza's Saga, we have a cycle of Skull
Oh.
Bombs
Voldwing Hybrid. I'm really stoked for that card.
for
It's a chumper for days.
Yeah, when you proliferate, it goes back to your hand.
Yeah. It's gonna be fucking sick and limited, man.
I don't think any of these Skull Bombs are really that playable for like modern Urza's
They're
Saga
all for
decks.
1, draw a card, and for 3, do something and draw a card.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they have to be at sorcery speed. Maybe if they weren't at sorcery speed, but that would be too good.
I wonder how long it's gonna be until we get a Juggernaut tribal deck.
So this is a Commander Juggernaut tribal deck thing. But if you play this as your commander, do you still have to actually play Juggernaut in your deck? Yes or no? Because it makes all your creatures Juggernauts, but do you still play it?
Most tribal decks in Commander now just play all changeling. Too bad.
That's like,
He's colorless.
that's some pussy shit.
Tommy opened that Monument of Perfection. He was super excited about it until I pointed out he has to have 9 different named lands.
Yep.
It's harder than Fatal to the Dead.
Yeah. Pretty difficult and sealed.
And they just fucking. They just came out with the spheres, right? There's no
So
other
I
lands
was
out there. than
shitting on
spheres.
Jeff Touch is
Sword.
cool, but he's got this card that's got First Strike and Death Touch, and that's fucking dirty, man.
Yeah.
Like
Sword of Forge and Frontier.
Sword's interesting.
I like that sword.
Here's the best Skull Bomb they made, but it's still
Not the best
whatever.
protections, but it's
It's protection from Ren and 6.
Yeah.
There you go.
true. But
Protection,
protection
from
that's
Fury.
protection from red is better than protection from
There's
green.
protection from Ren and 6 because it gives it +2/+2.
Yeah, it gives it not 1 toughness.
I've played 3 Red and 6 to kill something.
That is surgical spellbomb is pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely the best one they did. I'm happy about these reprints. I can get some Black Lucas now.
Some interesting looking
Yeah. Yeah.
early lands.
Yeah, these lands are
Do
they're
the
spheres.
do anything?
Felicia
I
said
don't-
she's
I
out
don't
of
think
town
so.
until Sunday.
Oh, are they just new versions of sacking to draw a card?
Yeah.
The Mycosynth Garden to copy your
Worse
amulet.
versions. Oh, what's the colorless one?
That's true. Maybe that is decent. Does Amulet Titan play this card?
They're going to, yeah, because you can copy your fucking amulet with it. For
No, we got
1 mana. For 1 mana, you can get
Promos.
a second amulet with a land.
And let's count how many Elishnorns are. There's
I believe
1,
there's 5.
2, 3, 4, and then the normal one. Oh, wait, 5, and then the normal one is 6. But you can get this in normal foil. You can get this non-foil. You can get this step and complete foil. You can get this textured foil. And
Go back down.
where
Those basics.
you like those
Those are
basics?
sick.
And what are those going to be like $12?
They're pre-ordering at 5 right now. I don't know if they're foil or not. I think they're like the
Probably.
textured foils.
Just imagine if they didn't print full art lands. That would be so.
Oh wait, is there another Elishnorn in this area?
Yeah, like they used to be.
Yeah,
For
like
the fucking unglued and shit.
Yeah, the
Oh wait,
unhinged
One, two,
ones
three,
were
four.
what, 30 to $40, and unglued were like 15.
I like that Jace art. I mean,
this one
yeah, Jace sucks, but
where he's pulling out the sword.
I remember when Jace was always the best.
he's
And
number
then,
one.
we had
in
that
our-
era of like the really bad Jaces from like Ixalan and the one after Ixalan. I don't remember what it was
After I
called.
stopped playing Magic, they just killed everyone.
Why couldn't we get a Nicol Bolas? Sick.
They spoiled a secret layer premium store of Nico Bolas, but I don't know how to find that. You can go to Mad Explorer.